Nerd Rage Renegades.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nerd Rage Renegades podcast, coming to you live from our hotel in Chicago, Illinois.
Early. It's an early day.
Oh, it's so early after a freaking epic weekend at C2E2. My freaking God.
Epic weekend, man. And we're going to have to space all this out over the next couple of weeks. And it's going to be some editing for Spin here, but man, did we have a good time. And wait till we get to what we did Saturday. I don't know when we're going to talk about this, but the Saturday night was, I guess we'll talk about Friday first.
Let's talk about Friday.
We'll do like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then subsequent episodes. This is like a mini-sode. So you're getting this mini-sode now, early this week, and then you'll get some full episodes coming with interviews and things. So yeah, let's talk about Friday. Well, let's talk about Thursday because we went to the Field Museum.
Oh yeah, that's I almost forgot about that.
Yeah,
so much happened at C2E2. We almost forgot that Thursday when we got into town, we went to the Chicago Field Museum. More specifically, me and Spin specifically wanted to see the Ghost in the Darkness.
Definitely. I mean, we've had a whole episode on the Ghost in the Darkness, and to see the actual lions.
The Savo lions that they said it confirmed like 28. I think it said on the sign that 28 confirmed and possibly 100 or more.
Killed, man-eating. Eaten by these lions. These lions would... They say there was something that happened with these lions that caused them, like I was looking at the skull of one and like a tooth was like broken or something.
Yeah.
They said that could have been like the catalyst for it to become a man-eater.
Yeah, and the unusual thing too is that they're two male lions, and usually male lions don't pack up like that or go rogue together that way. And they were really unusual, and if you go on our Twitter, actually, if you go on the Nerd Rage Twitter or my Twitter, SpaceG75, there is a picture of me and Spin with the Savo lions and their skulls.
It was really cool. I mean, these things are huge. There were some great exhibits there. The mummy exhibit.
Oh, the Egypt exhibit is amazing. The dinosaur exhibit.
Really cool.
Just incredible. You look at some of those things, and when you stand up now, you don't get the sense of how huge dinosaurs were.
Yeah.
Literally monsters roamed the earth at one point.
Or the giant sloth skeleton they had. That thing was fucking huge.
Yeah,
it was like King Kong.
All of this, you'll be able to see all these pictures in the upcoming weeks on Twitter, but you'll see what we mean. It's just unbelievable displays. The gym exhibit was pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of gold. There was a lot of gold.
Tons of gold. Well, some of and there was a lot of that in the Egyptian, like real Egyptian gold and jewelry from mummies that they had. Matter of fact, they had one mummy behind glass where they had the face exposed, and then they had the jewelry tacked on the inside of the glasses to where they found all the jewels on the body. And oh man, just amazing stuff. And the intricacy of handmade jewels and gold jewelry from thousands of years ago is incredible. The ingenuity of mankind is mind-blowing.
The jade, the bronze, all that stuff, the way they could make you get the patterns on the discs and things.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And when you see it, it's like you see that stuff in books. It's just nothing compared when you're standing right in front of it. And you can really look at it up close and be like, holy shit, these people knew what they were doing.
So interesting. And all this stuff, like I said, in the Egyptian part, and then all the taxidermy was really cool too, especially in one of the cases where they had all these different sized creatures, and then they had a human, but it was the old 1990s bendable Belle Beauty and the Beast figure, and it said human, not actual size. That was hilarious. I was like, I had to take a picture of that and send it to the family. I was like, this is fucking funny as hell.
Yeah, and right when you walk, the architect, even just the building itself of the Field Museum. I mean, there's been a lot of movies and stuff shot in there too. Like actually the movie The Relic always comes to mind because they filmed they even like the outside of the building and everything. You see a lot of it. But just the architecture of that building's amazing. You go in there and they've got the big marble statues. It's just really all the architecture in downtown Chicago. Everything here is really beautiful.
Yeah, it was a great day there. Got to the hotel, chilled out, and then Friday started the festivities of C2E2.
Yeah, and Friday was a pretty light day. We got there. There was still a lot of people, but it was lighter than Saturday for sure, and Sunday. But we walked around. Some pretty cool booths. We talked to a lot of publishers this weekend.
Yeah, got to talk to DC, Image, IDW, Big Dog Inc., Boom, quite a few others that we're now going to be in contact with and be promoting news and things like that for them. Friday was great. We interviewed Pat Gleason on Friday.
Yeah, Pat Gleason on Superman. Got to talk to him a little bit about my thoughts on Superman and maybe what's coming up maybe for the future Superman. So look forward to that interview.
Especially with Action number 1000 coming out.
Yeah,
and he's got you'll hear about it when we post the interview. He's got a story in there. And then Friday we met Breckenmeyer, Zeb Wells, and Matthew Sinrai
of Super Mansion on Adult Swim.
Yep, co-creators of Robot Chicken.
You'll hear it in the interview, but Breckenmeyer's hysterical. I don't want to spoil too much, but something to do with the sponsor of the show. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, and that's going to be some of these interviews are going to be when you hear them, they're going to be really interesting because these interviews were conducted in a round table. So it was us and then other media outlets.
Yeah,
so,
you'll see the tags. We're going to tag everybody from those other shows.
Yeah, that way you get a full interview and not just like one or two questions because most of the time we got like one question in.
Well, me and Spin were smart because most people showed up with one person to represent them. So me and Spin got two questions right in a row.
Yeah.
So
gotta play
us
smart. But really great people. A lot of great cosplay. All 3 days.
Yeah, the actual cosplay contest was on Saturday, but leading up to that all day Friday, you'd see more people were starting to come into town, and you'd see some of the cool stuff. But man, I got to give it up to cosplayers. I know there's people out there that think that cosplay takes away from cons and all that. That is complete nonsense.
Yeah.
Think about how boring that would be, just milling around in those crowds with just a million normal people just walking around.
Yeah,
you walk by and all of a sudden hey, there's Harley Quinn standing right there, and these are good, like top notch cosplays.
Yeah.
These are not just somebody slaps some makeup on their face to show up. This person spent a year or better making this costume, and it looks perfect. Like you could put it right on film and make a movie with it.
And then all the different takes on a character. I mean, we saw like Demon Harleys, we saw the Gwenums, we saw different variations of Disney
Superior
princesses.
Octopus.
We saw Superior Octopus, different variations on Disney princesses, like Gypsy princesses, Jedi princesses.
I saw like a mobile, like a mobile suit Gundam Elsa.
Yeah. Everything from DC bombshells to, we saw Michael Jackson there.
Yeah. A composite Freddy Jason
that was
split
cool.
right down the middle, and it was perfect, like prosthetic makeup and everything.
Yeah, a couple Deadpools, not as many as we thought.
Yeah, the Deadpool scene was pretty light this year. There was a lady Deadpool that was really good.
Yeah,
and
there was a couple of Gwenpools.
Oh yeah, I see more than a few Gwenpools. So Gwenpool's just the one Gwenpool. I'm thinking of Spider-Gwen. There's a lot of Spider-Gwens. Spider-Gwen seems to have filled in the slot that Harley's kind of.
There was a lot of Spider-Gwens, a lot of Diva from Overwatch.
Yeah, there are a lot of Overwatch stuff there.
Some great Monty Python.
Oh yeah, there was a whole crew of. You had King Arthur. You had all Sir Robin.
Bedivere. You even had Newt.
Yeah.
Dingo. Those were really cool. People from Attack on Titan, people from Death Note. So many anime, a lot of steampunk. We got probably close to 50, 60 pictures of cosplayers this weekend, and just the different takes. They'll be posted on Twitter and Instagram because most of these people had Instagram accounts, so I got to put the Instagram back up because I want to make sure I tag them in the pictures because I want them to get credit. So a lot of Instagramming going on.
Yeah, and give them props when we put them up. Give them props, man. They deserve it. The pictures we took. So these people spend a lot of time, spend a lot of money on these costumes, and they go all out at these big cons like this. And So, you say cosplay is not necessary to cons. Bullshit. Con would be boring as fuck if there weren't cosplayers.
I mean, there was the first, one of the first ones we got was a husband and wife team.
Yeah.
They do it together. Husband and wife do it together. I'm going to say that the winner of cosplay this weekend was the little X23.
Oh yeah. We got a picture of little girl, claws. The whole
get-up is X23.
Yeah, and she was not even they looked like a mom had brought her kids for the day, but this little girl looked like X23 from the movie.
Yeah, and when we asked to take a picture of it, man, she posed just like X23. I mean, she put the claws out, and she got into a stance and everything.
Yeah, the mom was even like, we're like, do you have Instagram or anything? And she's like, no, we're just regular people. We just showed up.
But she was like, thank you so much for making her feel good, taking her picture, and things like that. So that was really, really cool.
But she did a good job.
She did a fantastic job.
Better than some adults there.
The only one I wanted that we saw when we were smoking that we never found again was a guy dressed as Super Fieri.
Yeah, there was a Super Guy Fieri.
Super Guy Fieri. Oh my God, from Dumpsters, Dive-Ins, and Drives.
But everything, I would say 99.9% of it went great. A lot of people think of Chicago might be a rude city. Everybody here's been friendly as hell.
Yeah.
There was a couple incidents, and this wouldn't be nerd rage if we didn't rage a little bit.
Yeah.
So I will. I wish I knew the name of the booth because I would blast them, but I don't know. I'm not going to name names or name the vendor, but I'll tell you a situation that happened with me on Friday was as you guys as Spin knows, and as you guys probably know from us talking comics all the time. Spin and I have some pretty high-end collections of books. So I was looking for actually a first appearance of Moon Knight and a few other books that I was looking for. So I went to a vendor and I was browsing his back. They keep all the expensive stuff up on the back so people don't just bend it and look it through boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the back wall and I'm on the outside of the booth. I'm kind of leaning over looking, and this guy comes over to me and kind of taps me. He's like, move, the guy that runs the booth. And I kind of look at him, and I look, and there's a guy. He's making me move because a guy wants to look in the 50-cent bin that's right there.
Yeah. So
I look right at this guy, and I said, you're an idiot. You could have made possibly hundreds of dollars just now. So, and I said, I assure you, I won't buy from you at all. I don't care if you're giving it away. So I walked away. So then he got a big gruff look on his face and flopped back down in his chair. But that was the one asshole vendor that I met all weekend. Everybody else was really cool. All the other vendors were very nice.
Every other vendor was cool.
I'll remember him next year, too. Asshole. So if you happen to get our card somehow and listen to this, remember the guy with the dreads? Yeah, that was me. I'm never buying nothing from you, ever.
On the flip side of that, to talk about cool vendor.
Yeah, this guy went above and beyond for sure.
So it was Friday. And we were walking. It was about the end of the day. It was getting close to the end of the day.
Yeah, we were about to wrap it up.
Yeah. And I saw a vendor, and he had a whole bunch of old school, Masters of the Universe toys.
Loose figures and
bags and Thundercat toys. And then I saw he had a whole, he had, totes of old, and he had them in individual cases, little packets.
Little plastic preservation cases.
Of G.I. Joes.
Think CGC, but for action figures, kind of.
Yeah, but not great.
Not great.
You could
just
take them
protected cases.
Yeah. So I looked at him. I said, "Well, I've been because I had it as a kid, and because I served in the Marines. I said I wanted a gung ho in his dress blue uniform. Had it as a kid. Loved that figure. Been looking for it again, and eBay prices are just outrageous. So." He looks in it. He looked in his because he actually had like a book so he could remember where everything was.
A catalog of these figures.
He pulled them out. He pulled out a gung ho, and I said, "Oh, awesome! How much do you want for it?" And he just goes, "Take it." He said, "You're a veteran. I'm a veteran. We need to help each other out. You go ahead and take it, no charge." That was really cool. Yeah. He didn't have to do that, but big props to that guy. I wish I could remember his name.
Yeah, good guy. I'd also but we're not to get into what I want to talk about Saturday night separately, but I also want to give props to the Troma team at the Troma table because Friday we went by there Friday too, and the Troma as punk rock as they are, and as weird as they are, I mean, I'm a weird guy too, but I mean, as weird as they are, and they really stand out at the con. You can't miss Troma walking by.
Oh no!
And Uncle Lloyd's out there greeting everybody. Lloyd's, God bless Lloyd, stood out there for 2 days, glad handing, shaking hands, taking pictures, smiling. Nicest man in the world to every single person that walked by. Not one of these guys that's like, looking at his watch, like, gotta go. He stood out there all fucking day, and he met everybody. We went up to talk to Lloyd. We could tell him the story. The first.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we went to go meet Lloyd, and to preface this, we were outside, and we ran into the guy who actually portrays Toxic Avenger for the booth, and we were talking when Spin asked him if he worked for Troma. He's like, yeah, I'm with Troma. And we told him we know Lloyd because he's been on the show a couple times. And so he's like, oh, well, come by the booth, say hi and everything. And so we go, and there's a line to meet Lloyd. There's a lot of people buying DVDs, and they had every Troma movie.
Everything. I bought two.
DVD, Blu-ray, VHS, they had the whole works, everything. Big props to Ron from Troma, too, by the way. He's a great dude.
Yeah. And
but we get in line to meet Lloyd, and we're a few people back, and we're waiting patiently, and we finally get up to Lloyd. And he just greets us with, "Hey, you guys!" And the photographer guy is like, "Why'd you guys wait in line? You guys could have just came up." And I said, "Well, we don't want to be assholes, we don't want to be a dick." And Lloyd says, "Be a dick. You're our friends. Be a dick. Come up. It's you." And I said, "Well, I'll go to the back and then cut everybody again." He's like, "Yeah, go back there. Come back up." So we got to meet Lloyd. We got pictures. You'll see those on Twitter too. Lloyd and Toxie and Spin and I. But I just wanted to give a big shout out to Ron and Lloyd and everybody at Troma, because Troma really treated us right this weekend.
They really
good people. Yeah, go support Troma, support independent film, because God bless Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah. I mean, this con had some great things. They had a station set up with soda that was you buy a cup for $25, you get free refills all day. The only issue is they needed like more than one of those carts, because the line to refill was long. It was like long as hell.
Yeah, and
like,
they need a water option as well, or a juice option or something besides soda.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea to have to buy a cup and you can refill it all day long. But if it's only one station and everybody's doing it, it's long as hell. I would also say, for as going as press, and I'm not asking for special treatment or anything. But we have like interviews we got to conduct. We have meetings we got to go to. And we have to go through the general population lines, which are usually long as hell.
Yeah, I don't mind going through security screening, but at least have a separate one so we can get in quick and let us, even if they have to put an embargo on, like, because there's a VIP thing, right? Where the VIP ticket holders can go in an hour on the floor before everybody else and shop. As press, I don't even mind if you put an embargo on purchasing anything for press. Because I've got a press tag. If I go to a booth, try to buy something, they say, "You're press, you can't buy it, get out of here."
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't care. But when I've got to meet Cullen Bunn at 8, 9 in the morning, and I'm stuck in 50,000 people, and I've got to fight my way through those people to get to Cullen Bunn before everybody lines up at his table, it's a huge pain in the ass. Unfortunately, we were able to get to Cullen, and you'll hear that later, too.
Yeah, that was a good one. But I'm just saying, you get the VIP people, the pro people, they all get to go first. Press, they have a press lounge. Even if it's your press, you need to go up to the press lounge. You cannot even enter the floor until we open. That's fine. Just let us go up to the press lounge, because we have to go upstairs and around, put our jackets away in the press lounge, get all of our stuff situated. It would just make it easier for press to be able to do that. I understand we're doing a courtesy, and they're courtesy for giving us press badges anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we got in for free anyway, but it's just one of those things where we have a schedule that we have to keep to for interviews and meetings and screenings and stuff.
Yeah, and it's not. We met a lot of other press there. They were all very cool, and they all felt the same way too. I mean, there should be. I mean, they have separate lines for medical. They have separate lines for certain things. For big cosplay, they have separate lines. It's like, put a press line, put a press security line. I don't mind getting screened. I don't mind not being able to buy anything on the floor. But when I've got something set up with somebody, I'd like to get to it before the place fills up and is too noisy and people are busy, and because I don't want to take away from their selling either.
Right.
I mean, the Cullen is there to promote his book. Jerry Duggan, those guys, they're there to promote their book for to sell, to make money for themselves. I don't want to cut into their sell time either.
Right.
So I want to get them while they've got a few minutes before anybody's running up on them. And it would just be easier, really, for everybody all around if they had a separate line for us to go through.
Right. That and everybody, you know, as soon as they get through that, as soon as they start letting people in, people are not going straight to the floor. I mean, they're going to go stand outside the con floor. They're going to take pictures. The cosplayers are going to set up. There's just a lot going on. All the press we met, yeah, really great. Saturday we had a roundtable press event with Warner Brothers and Blondie Girl Productions for the new movie Daphne and Velma.
Yeah, the Tisdale sisters actually own that.
The Tisdale, Ashley and Jennifer Tisdale. We got to meet Jennifer Tisdale. Really nice woman.
Yeah, everybody there from the movie was really nice. Very happy to be there to do press. It seemed everybody's cool. We actually had the Warner guy actually brought somebody up to fix the air conditioning in the room because we were boiling.
So hot.
We were boiling in there, and so he actually said, "Everybody, we need to cool this down." So he brought a couple of maintenance guys up. They fixed that problem, and it was all good. Overall, a really good con. I got not really. The only complaint we have is the press thing. Repop, for as big as that show is, they put on an amazing con.
They put on an amazing con. I think the layout was perfect. Was really good. You had all the comics kind of in one section. A lot of the toy vendors were kind of in the same section. I like that all the big publishers were all in the same area.
Yeah, and they had big banners on the ceiling this time where you can identify where everybody was just by looking up.
Because I remember the last time we went, like, Marvel was on one side of the floor, DC was on another side of the floor.
Yeah.
Image was, like, on another side, like, in a corner. This time they were all in the same area, so I thought that was good. All the cosplay stuff was in one area.
Yeah. I would say that the one thing that kind of worries me is that before previous years, they had just the whole back wall and a little bit of the back on the side of the right of the convention center was for photo ops and celebrities and stuff. Yeah. They have now expanded that where it wraps around.
Yeah, that
gives me a little bit of worry that this could be turned into another San Diego, because this is one of the more comic-centric cons left in the country that's mostly comic books.
You know, I want to rant around one other thing, now that you mention that. It's the frickin' celebrity guest.
Yeah, I was getting to that next. Yeah, go ahead.
Frickin' celebrity guest. So, we're there to do press, and we want to interview everybody, because they've got stuff that they're promoting. You know, like you said, Cullen, and they're promoting books, and, you know, they got new things coming out.
Yeah, and yes, it helps our show, but it also helps get word out about what they're doing, too. So, it's not like we're just like, yeah, give us everything. We're going to put it out everywhere.
Right. And not a single one.
Looking at you, Dave Bastista. Well, Dave Bastista, I will say, I would say Tom Kenny and those other guys, probably nice people. Dave Bastista is not a nice man. Mm. Dave Bastista is a fucking asshole, and I'm going to say it. I don't care if he'll never hear this, so I don't give a fuck. Dave Bastista is a fucking asshole. We met a girl on the shuttle who said she paid her $100 or whatever it was to meet, I don't know, 60, I don't know if it's 100, something like that. Outrageous for meeting a guy for 2 seconds. But whatever it is, she went to meet him. Paid the money, waited in line, was real excited to meet Bastista, and he disappointed her because he was a fucking asshole. He was a fucking asshole to every single person that came there. He judged the cosplay contest Saturday and seemed bored like he didn't want to fucking be there. Dave Bastista is a fucking prick. And I'll tell you what, I'm inclined to not even... there's so much going on with the Infinity War movie. I want to see it, and he's a very small part of that. So, but I guarantee you, I will not support anything else Dave Bastista has anything to fucking do with. Because he is a fucking cocksucker.
Well, we're there to promote people. We're there to get interviews and promote them and promote their stuff. And not a single celebrity, not a single one of them out of, 20, 30 celebrities?
Nobody got anybody there. None of the press. We talked to everybody in the press room, and nobody got any of them.
Yeah, none of them would do press. Not a single one of them would do interviews. We would ask the PR guy for Repop, and he's like, nope, their manager said they're not doing any interviews. They're not going to talk to the press. And I'm sitting there going, I understand you just said Batista's an asshole, but he's got Infinity War coming out.
Yeah.
Same with Sean Gunn. He's in Infinity War.
Well, Batista's notorious for being a prick to comic fans, and
so why come to a fucking Comic-Con?
That's because he's greedy. He's a greedy dick. He wants your money, but he doesn't want to be nice to you. So I would think twice about giving Dave Bastista a goddamn dime.
And these people, these celebrities, you got to think people have already paid their $75 for a ticket.
$60 a day parking in most cases.
Yeah.
Food is out. Like a bottle of water is $5 or maybe a little under that, maybe $3.50, something like that.
Yeah.
They emptied all the vending machines, so you had to go through these vendors to get food and water. So you're paying all this money out, not only, and then you're paying for the photo op, paying for to meet him, and for Dave Bastista or anybody, for any reason, any of those celebrities to be an asshole to anyone after they've paid their money, a shame on you, shame on all of you.
But I was looking at the signs, it's like $100, like $80, like $60 for an autograph, $100 for a picture. I have to give props. The best one I saw was Daphne Zuniga. She was like, everything is, pictures, autographs, everything, $40.
Yeah.
One price, $40, you can get everything. That was nice. But and we're walking down there and people are lining, and you do what you want with your money.
I'll give props to CM Punk too. CM Punk's a good guy.
Yeah.
His fans love him. His line is packed, and he's a good guy, and he spends time with his fans, and he's a comic guy.
Yeah.
So good on you, CM Punk. Fuck Dave Bastista.
Yeah. But the fact that these, and people do what they want with their own money, but the fact that you're spending already a lot of money to go there.
Yeah.
A lot of money on parking. You still want to buy stuff while you're there.
If you're from out of town, you got to get a hotel.
Hotel, plane tickets like I had to.
Yeah.
And then to spend another $100 just for a picture with somebody?
And then on top of that, for that guy to be a dick.
Jeez, man.
Not worth. I do not like. I don't care. I've never gone to one of those things. I've never gone back to meet one of the celebrities. I've never paid that, and I wouldn't, because I don't believe in that. I think you ought to be grateful because you've got fans. You ought to be grateful that they've already spent who knows how many thousands of dollars on your merchandise already, and will continue to spend on your merchandise. You should be sitting out there where anybody can walk up and say hello to you. Why are you elite? Why do you get to be back there and charge that money when you know these people have already spent an arm and a leg to get there, and on top of that, years leading up to this, buying your merchandise and your products, and you're really going to hide yourself behind a wall and say, "Here, give me $100 more and you can meet me." Fuck you.
Or Mark Miller coming, you have to pay $300
or
for
$500 for VIP and to sign 3 things and meet me because I'm so great. Kingsman 2 is a piece of shit, by the way. It promotes alcoholism in my point of view, so fuck Mark Miller.
Yeah.
We're really, and then we said nerd rage, we're raging.
Oh yeah, and I want to go on. This is nothing against Reed Pop.
No, I'm not saying that we had a miserable. We had a great time.
Yeah,
we had an absolute great time. These are just, like I said, we're Nerd Rage Renegades. We're gonna get all this bitching out of the way because we got so many good things coming to talk about that really. And like I said, God bless Lloyd Kaufman and Troma. They are the nicest fucking. To me, Lloyd Kaufman is a bigger celebrity than Dave Bastista. Anyway, fuck off, Dave Bastista. I can't say that enough. But Lloyd Kaufman, great fucking guy. Love that guy.
Well, let's talk about Sunday.
All right.
Yesterday was the last day of the con. At the beginning, we thought this was going to be a slow day.
Yeah, it looked slow. We pulled up, nobody there. The lobby just sparse with people going up and down the escalators. Probably by about, what would you say, 11:30?
Yeah.
Whoosh, the whole crowd came in. And, oh man, and it was hot. I would say it was comparable to Saturday almost, how crowded it got Sunday, which it's never been like that.
Because we got there, because we had that interview with Cullen real early, and we were like, there's not a lot of cosplay here today. A lot of people are just normal clothes. It's going to be a slow day. Sure enough, we do the interview with Cullen, and then we start going back towards the front of the entrance hall.
Yeah, and just hit with a wall.
Hit with a wall of people. Some more outstanding cosplays.
Yeah, yeah.
But this was we had a great interview with Kat Jackson from Tokyo Pop.
Yeah.
But
very, very, very nice, and you're going to be hearing more about their stuff coming because we're going to have her on the show proper in the future.
We're going to have a lot of people on the show proper. But yesterday was our buy-in day.
Yeah.
We bought. Tell them what you bought. You bought 2 incredibly awesome books.
Yeah, I got an amazing adult fantasy number 12, which is 3 away from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But what I like about it is the entire book was Lee Ditko. Every story in it, Lee Ditko. I like every story in this one. Very cool. My other book was Action 254, which is the first appearance of the adult proper Bizarro #1. There was a previous appearance of a character named Bizarro that was a Superboy clone that didn't quite wear the Superman outfit and was not the same. Action 254 to me is first appearance of proper Bizarro. And so I got both of those books, and I got a deal on it. I talked the guy down a little bit. And so I was happy with those. And then we got some we got a few things signed, and I bought Cullen and Jimmy Z are writing that
Tick book.
They're writing the new Tick. So I picked the first 3 issues of that up and had those guys sign them.
And I picked up Subspecies from them and had them both sign it.
Yeah. And what did you get? I forgot what you got.
So I picked up, because we were at the Image booth, I got Hack Slash Resurrection number 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, yeah.
Signed by Teenie Howard and Tim Seeley. So I got those, and we got their information so we can have them on the show proper.
Yeah.
I got a Tomb of Dracula.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
It's already packed up. I don't want to pull it out.
Yeah, mine's all our stuff's packed, so we're not pulling anything out for you guys.
But it's a Dracula versus Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
So I definitely wanted that. I got a one of my missing Shang-Chi, Master Kung Fu. And then I got a Man-Thing number 2, 3, and 4 from Volume 1. Couple free books. I got from Big Dog Inc. I got the first trade for Critter.
Yeah.
And then a variant cover of Critter that looks like Spider-Man 300.
Yeah, Zenoscope gave you a whole arc pack of a $15 pack of books and said, "Here, go read these."
Yeah, Zenoscope gave us books to read because we're going to be having start working with Zenoscope and excuse me, long weekend.
Yeah, that's you can tell. We're winding down.
Yeah, but and then I bought the kids some stuff. Bought them a couple things. Had to hunt 20 minutes for the Coochie Kopi for Paige.
Yeah, that was a trek. But luckily, I kind of remembered where it was, and we found it eventually. But I got my wife and this was the dumbest thing I did probably the whole weekend. Is on Friday we were walking around, and there's a guy there that's been there every year since probably 2015 or maybe even before that. But I first found him in 2015, and the first time we found him, my wife bought the guy welds steel statues together of pop culture stuff. Like he's got Doctor Who stuff, he's got Aliens, Predator, Star Wars stuff that he's made out of pieces of scrap metal, and they're like little statues, and they're really well made, but they're really heavy because they're steel.
Right.
And my wife bought a Dalek a few years ago, and she told me, because she only got to come to Sunday. She said, if you're there around, you see that guy, I want the TARDIS that goes with the Dalek, that I have a matching set of the guy's Doctor Who stuff. And I said, okay, I'll do that. So we walked by, and I happened to see the guy there. And he's got one TARDIS sitting on the table. And I was like, dude, I should probably buy that now, because if he's only got one of those, she's going to be so disappointed if I don't get that right now.
Right.
So I walked by, and I said, okay, how much for that? Bought it reasonably priced. I told her that he was going to raise prices because the guy does good work. I knew the longer his booth was there, that it was going to go up. So I paid a little bit more for this than I did the Dalek, but no problem with that. Problem is, this thing weighs 10 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a 10-pound steel TARDIS. And on top of that, I've got a box of comic books in my shoulder bag and a coat. So I'm walking around with like 40 extra pounds. And never again. I'm going to perfect my system of doing press and shopping at Comic-Con one of these years.
Yeah.
But my recommendation to anyone going to a big con, for one thing, drink lots of water. Make sure you've got lots to drink. Another thing is, don't carry anything you don't need. If you don't need it, leave it in your hotel, leave it in your car, because there is literally nowhere to put your shit unless you have a press room. Like we luckily, we didn't even know about our coat room until like halfway through the first day. So we found out about that. But if you're just there to enjoy the con, you do not want to carry that shit around all day. It will break your shoulder or your back. And so this Saturday, I said, nothing. I'm not taking anything today, dude. We're doing press all day. I'm not buying shit. I'm not carrying shit. I'm carrying my phone and my press badge, and that is all I'm taking in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad I did, because that was the most hectic day, and if I would have had to drag that bag around through that crowd, I would have been passing out for sure.
Definitely. So let's talk about... I said this was a mini-sode.
Yeah, we're running long on the mini-sode.
Let's talk about Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. Saturday, like I said, I'll give Lloyd Kaufman a kidney if he ever needs one. I will donate a body part to Lloyd if he needs one.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
As a Marvel thing comes on, Marvel Strike Force.
Oh, it's a game, I guess.
Yeah. So we got an email before the con, as you know, a lot of press stuff. Hey, what do you want to sign up for? One of them was Troma and Broadway HD. We're going to be premiering the HD filmed version of the Toxic Avenger musical at C2E2, and they're like, "Do you want to RSVP to go to this?" So talking to Chief, and Chief will admit he's not a musical guy.
Yeah, I'm not a big musical guy at all. I can't think of one that I've ever enjoyed. Like maybe when I was a kid, Grease, just because my sister was into it. And
right.
Stuff, but growing up, that just wasn't my thing. I'm into dark. I like Conan the Barbarian. I like H.P. Lovecraft. I like horror. I like superhero comics. Some people would say that's closed-minded, whatever. That's what I like.
Right. But Lloyd was going to be there, and with Lloyd doing so much for us...
Yeah, Lloyd, I'll do anything for him, so...
It was like, yeah, we'll go do it. So, Saturday, we're down at the smoking area, and the guy from Troma was down there again, and I said, hey, what room is the musical in?
Yeah.
He told us, and he goes, you know what, why don't you, if you guys want, just come down to the booth around 6:45, and we'll walk up together. We were like, oh, okay, cool.
Thinking we're just going to go walk behind them, get a seat, and watch the show.
Yeah. So we get down there, and we...
Well, Lloyd's finishing up some autographs, some photo ops, people there. There's a short line, so we got to wait a little bit.
Yeah. So the guy gets dressed up as Toxie.
Yeah.
And it's time to go. And he looks at us and he says, "Look, I can't see too well out of this mask. You guys got to guide me." So Chief is guiding him.
Yeah, I was the Toxic Avengers seeing eye dog.
I am walking with Lloyd's wife, because Lloyd was doing a real quick interview as he was walking. So I'm escorting Lloyd's wife, and I'm thinking we're going to get up there, everybody's going to be in line waiting to come into the screening room, and we'll just go up there.
I thought maybe there'd be a side door where we go in first and set up for press, and then let everybody in.
No, we get there, we go in, and everybody is already sitting in there. All the people who RSVP'd to go see this thing are already sitting in there, and we walk in with Troma.
Yeah. We are with Troma. Spin is escorting Lloyd Kaufman's wife to her seat. I am escorting the Toxic Avenger and carrying his bag. And then we go and sit. And the only two, there was one row of seats that was empty, and two of those seats were reserved for Lloyd and his wife, and then the other two seats. So Spin and I get to sit. Lloyd goes up and does his introductions and tells what everything's going on. And everybody's cheering for Lloyd and everything. And then we go sit down, and come to find out we are sitting with Lloyd for the premiere. Spin sat right next to Lloyd Kaufman during the premiere of this play.
Yeah. And this musical, if you get a chance to see it, it actually today, on Monday, it's now streaming on Broadway HD. Go check out Toxic Avenger the musical.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a musical guy. It's very funny. It's a very comical musical, and it pokes fun at musicals in a lot of ways, and it's really funny. It's my kind of. Well, you know what? Actually, I do like John Waters stuff. I do like John Waters movies. So it reminded me a lot of a John Waters movie, like the way Crybaby or Hairspray or something like that.
And it's interesting. So, and what's more interesting is the basic premise of the Toxic Avenger is there.
Yeah, it's all there. It
condensed,
of course.
Condensed, and some things changed from the movie.
Right.
to make it more appealing for musical.
Yeah,
purposes.
not quite. It's not the gore fest that Toxic Avenger is known to be, and it's not quite as risque in places. But I mean, you get the gist of the story of what happens, how the Toxic Avenger becomes a Toxic Avenger, what happens with it, through his life. But really funny stuff. I got to give the cast, the 4-person cast.
4 people, yeah.
And so one of the women in the play has a dual role.
Natalie Hope.
And at one point, she has her two characters have to fight each other. So she comes out half and half of her characters and fights herself on the stage while singing.
Yeah.
And it is one of the funniest goddamn things I've ever seen, and very talented, because she doesn't crack a note while she's doing it, and it's amazing.
She's very talented. They were all very talented. 4 people cast. Lots of costume changes, and so big props to the backstage crew of that show, because they got
crowd reaction too. Everybody seemed to love it. It was getting applause through everything.
Yeah, very, very good. So that was basically C2E2 for us.
At the end of it, when Lloyd was doing it, Lloyd was taking some photos at the end with the producers and everything, and we went to say our goodbyes to Lloyd, and Lloyd is such a humble dude that I went up and I said, Lloyd, thanks a lot for letting us come to this. We didn't know we were going to get to set with you. We didn't know we were going to do like this. We didn't expect this. This is amazing. And Lloyd was like, no. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. Thanks for all your support for Troma. We really appreciate you guys. Independent film couldn't do it without people like you showing up to things. And thanks for having me on your show so many times. And we'll be back, and we'll work together again. Lloyd's the nicest dude, and will bend over, really into helping the underdog. He is a guy that hates big Hollywood. He hates the cookie cutter movie industry machine, and he likes to help the little guy out, and he does. And he's a man of his word, and he doesn't just say that shit and bullshit you. He really follows through on what he says he's going to do, and he's a good man. And support Troma. Yeah.
So that was C2E2 in a nutshell. Now, you're going to get this episode early this week. Probably, we're recording this on Monday. I'll probably put it out tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll have much more material from this coming in the future. Yeah. Regrettably, we didn't have much time to read comics for comic reviews this week, but we'll get to that. We'll get it all out. It's coming, but we were busy this weekend.
Yeah, so you'll get this on Tuesday, maybe tomorrow night or something if we're not sleeping.
Yeah, I may need a couple days to recover. We might put out some comic reviews later in the week, but tomorrow I think I'm going to be, or tonight for sure I'm going to be sleeping.
Yeah. So then you'll be getting the interviews.
Well, if you've got time tomorrow, that might be a good time to do it. I might get some in the daytime, and then we'll do it.
Or even get some stuff for the interview stuff, and we can put that out later on this week.
Yeah, we'll get you. You're gonna be sick of us by the time it's over.
You're gonna get loaded up, but
we got a lot of stuff to put out.
Yeah, but we want to thank you for tuning into this little episode here, just about C2E2. You got interviews coming soon from Warner Brothers, Blondie Girl Productions, comic creators. You're gonna have everything here in the next couple of weeks, and look for a lot coming in the next couple months.
And like I said, 99.9% absolutely perfect. Couple of assholes here and there, but for a con that size, when tens of thousands of people get together, if you run into 2 assholes, you've had a great day.
Yeah.
So I mean, overall, ReedPop puts on a great con. I'm hoping it stays about the way it is with comics and entertainment. And once again, fuck Dave Bastista. But everybody else, wonderful. Warner Brothers, great. Troma, great. Breckenmeyer, Super Mansion, those guys were great.
Yep.
Had a great time. One of the best times of my life.
So you all can check us out. Make sure you follow us, SpaceShield75, Nerd Rage Renegades on the Twitter box, Facebook.com/NR Truth Radio. Instagram is Nerd Rage Renegades. Make sure you check us all out, because we're going to be posting a shit ton of pictures in the next couple days.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a plane to catch here in a few hours, so we are going to say good day.
Good night, everybody.
Nerd Rage Renegades.